Hey, Kim here from Project Ripcord. This video I wanted to share with you how much we have made by renting out our tiny home. And we purchased the tiny home in May of 2007. And it took us about 3 or 4 months to get it to the point that we felt it was ready to rent out. It didn't come with a ladder, and we wanted stairs, so we built stairs. And we added like a breakfast bar in there and a bench, and we had to furnish it, and we put a deck on the outside. So there was some work that we wanted to do. And I have a tour of the tiny house, and I'll link that video below so that you can go and watch that video and see how it came out. So by the time we were ready to rent it out, it was October of 2017, and we listed it, and we got our first rental in November of 2017. So we have been really pretty booked up, except for summers, which we completely expected because we're in Phoenix, Arizona, and nobody wants to come here in June, July, and August. So we do get bookings into part of May, and then it stops after that. And then it'll pick back up in September. That's about what we've seen this year. I listed it on both VRBO and Airbnb. And someone told me at one point that older people, like me, and actually like people over, 70, will likely book through VRBO, and younger people in like their 20s are going to use Airbnb. And that's exactly what it's been. Probably 90% of our bookings have been through VRBO. We've had very little business through Airbnb, and it is definitely younger people. Having said that, we've had great experiences. Everybody's been really respectful of our property, of our neighbors. We haven't had any issues whatsoever, and we've had no damage. I've had a couple people ask if they can book outside the website because of fees, but when you do book through those platforms, it provides you with $1 million in liability insurance. So I always make sure that everybody books through there. Plus, it's easier to manage your reservations. Also, the two calendars on the platforms talk and interact. So if somebody books on Airbnb, it blocks your VRBO calendar and vice versa. So they're really good for setting them up. VRBO is not as user friendly. It took me a lot longer to kind of get the listing set up on VRBO than Airbnb, but really either one, it's really not that bad. It's just one's a little more tedious to work with than the other. So that's where we listed it, and that's the only places we've listed. And like I said, we've been really pretty booked up. So since we have taken on this side hustle, and it's only one of my side hustles, to date, we have made $12,500. Most of that, like I said, it came from VRBO. Probably 90% of the revenue is coming in from VRBO. And for 2018, that was, sorry, I wrote that down, that was $10,500 was from VRBO. And we had 181 days booked in 2018 through VRBO. Only $1,200 in revenue has come from Airbnb, and they don't give you the days, they don't kind of give you the same stats as VRBO, so I don't know how many days that is, but let's say it's 30. So that's how it's been, and like I said, it's been a really good experience for us. We haven't had any issues with our guests. They've been great. So I mean, I highly recommend it. It's, as they say, it's passive income. It takes a little more than just a regular rental because, it being on our property, what's nice is I can go in and clean it. I'm not hiring somebody to clean it, and actually I'm charging $25 cleaning fee. So I'm getting paid to go in and clean it, which is fine. It's all hooked up to our utilities, so I'm not maintaining a separate residence. I don't have separate utility bills. I don't have separate real estate taxes and all that. So it's been really beneficial just having it right here and being able to manage the property right here. So I think that's a little bit of a plus that some vacation rentals don't have. So that is, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that would be helpful for anybody to know. Like I said, that's our experience. It has been great. The other thing with the rentals is what is nice is that you can deduct everything that you're buying for it. So our furniture, supplies, I have coffee in there, and I have, water and things of that sort that we supply for the guests, and snacks and stuff like that. So you can deduct all that. toilet paper, paper towels, bedding, all that kind of stuff, I'll be able to go ahead and deduct. I'm not sure about the purchase price of the tiny house itself, how that will work in, because obviously it's not like a home. So we'll see when I go, you know, to do taxes. And the only other thing that I would recommend is Phoenix did not pass the law until January 2017 to allow to have vacation rentals. So if you're thinking about doing this, just make sure that it is legal in your city, specifically, because in Sedona, they don't allow it. And I understand it because they're going to take away from revenue of the resorts that are up there. So that's the only thing I would say, is just make sure that if you're looking into doing this, just make sure it's legal for you to do it in your city. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'd be happy to answer it. It's been a great experience for us. It's been nice to have the additional income. VRBO pays you 50% at the time of booking, and then you get the balance when the guests arrive. So, you know, you're getting deposits a lot, which nothing wrong with that. The only thing I would say is if for some reason somebody canceled, those funds get returned. So what I did is set up a separate account and made sure I always kind of left that money there. And in case somebody canceled, the funds are there. So you're never in the negative if you have to send funds back. So any questions, comments, love to hear from everybody. Subscribe. And I will put a link, like I said, down to our tiny house tour, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you.